Hello and welcome to Opening Bars. This song has certainly garnered its share of scrutiny and controversy, most notably for the lyric content. But what I really want to focus on here is the intriguing introduction to this 1981 song. As we will see, changes in time signature and the stylistic elements confer to produce a unique and signatory piece. This too, like Laura by Bat for Lashes, is listed as Baroque pop in Wikipedia. I think that's solely because of the harpsichord-like sound patch. Here again, I don't really see melodic or contrapuntal writing or sequencing the way I would in the Baroque period, although there is an echo of reminiscent harmonic movement. Let's take a closer look at that. We are notating this piece with 5 flats and time signatures of 3/4 and 4/4. We begin with a B flat minor chord in root position over a B flat, which moves down a perfect fourth to its dominant F with a first inversion F minor triad in the right hand. Then we move up a semitone to G flat in the bass, overlaid with a G flat major triad in first inversion. Then the bass moves down again, a perfect fourth, to the relative major D flat with a second inversion triad above. We will label those B flat and F chords 1 and 5, both in lower case to indicate minor sonorities, and the G flat 6 moving to the D flat 3, both capitalized to signify major sonorities. This progression is not particularly adventuresome, but does it feel like something we may have heard before? Well, perhaps you have. This 1, 5, 6, 3 progression sounds an awful lot like the opening sequence to Pachelbel's canon, but notice the chord sonorities are inverted. Instead of a major, major, minor, minor progression, like in the canon, we have a minor, minor, major, major progression, which actually matches the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th Pachelbel chord sequence more perfectly. Let's look at the rhythm. I have notated these opening bars in 3/4 time. You may notice if you go searching online that virtually all online sheet music is written in 6/8, 7/8 time signatures. I think I take issue with that for a couple of reasons. For one, this quarter note subdivision is cleaner and clearer on the page, in my opinion. Here is the 6/8, 7/8 example, and here is the 3/4, 4/4 example. It is also an important distinction to point out that 3/4 time is not a mathematical reduction of 6/8 time. They are musically very different. To demonstrate what I mean, here are 2 measures of each. In 6/8 time, the performer will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in eighths for each measure. The eighths on beats 1 and 4 will receive strong impulses, but beat 4 will not be as strong as beat 1. This creates a kind of duple feel at tempo, 1 and 2 and. If I were to play Golden Brown using this model, it would sound like this. But that's not what we hear on the recording, for each harmonic movement to my ears sounds equally strong on a beat 1, like this. Listen to the piece again, eliminating in your mind the harpsichord-like syncopation, and focus on the calliope-like instrument in the background, and you can clearly hear where the strong beats lie. So let's continue, working with the left hand. Try it first without the tie as well, for it will help you with the feel later on. Repeat a few times. Now add the tie. Let's look at the right hand. The right hand are chords that are syncopated on the and of 1 and then directly on beat 3. All of measure 4 is played off the main beat divisions. Notice that the first triad in eighth notes is held shorter than the triad on beat 3, the quarter note. Make sure to play it such. Okay, now it's time to put them together. So, precision of execution is key here, and you may not use the damper pedal at all. Stick your toes underneath the pedal to resist the temptation. While the left hand is continuous, notice that the right hand notates rests. Be sure to give them the presence in your performance that they deserve. The lack of damper pedal will help make this more clear. Now, if you really want a bit of a challenge, you may want to consider playing the keyboard and the bass at the same time. This will be very tricky. One way to get around that is to use the sostenuto pedal. Now, you may not have one of those connected to your digital synthesizer, but your digital concert or acoustic piano may, if you have a standardized 3-pedal setup. The damper or sustain pedal, of course, will always be on your far right. The una corda pedal, which softens the sound somewhat by shifting the keyboard slightly to the right, is on your far left, and the sostenuto pedal may be found in between the two. This pedal is used to sustain only notes that have already been depressed and the damper released. So to do this, immediately upon striking a note, and while holding it down on the keyboard, depress the sostenuto pedal and release the note with your finger. You will hear that that note, or multiple notes if you have struck multiple keys, will be sustained even while any subsequent notes that are played elsewhere on the piano are unaffected. This technique works very well here, sustaining the first left-hand notes of each bar to leave the syncopations to retain their rhythmic individuality. It's a tricky technique to get the timing right, but once mastered, it can be used to nice effect. I hope you enjoyed your lesson today. Remember, Don't just play notes, make music. Until next time, thanks for listening.